New Brunswick has reached a $544 million deal with the federal government in order to provide $10 a day childcare. Families will have their fees cut in half on average by the end of next year. The average cost will hit $10 a day within 5 years. Here's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau earlier on that news.
Families in places like Moncton and Fredericton will save around $7,500 a year on average. And in addition, we'll be creating around 3,400 brand new spaces. We're going to support workers in early childhood education with a wage grid, and we'll boost the number of trained educators as well.
Ontario is now the only province that has not yet signed onto the program. Blaine Higgs is the Premier of New Brunswick. He's in Fredericton. Premier, thanks for joining us. New Brunswick is the second last province to sign on to the federal program. What took so long to get this deal finished?
Well, it did take a while, Paul, because we have a very extensive early childhood learning program here in the province, one we've been developing for many years now. And it's kind of a hybrid system where, we've paid significantly into it to enhance not only the educational aspect, but the salaries component. So we didn't want to lose that. We have many, private sector operators that have worked tirelessly through COVID and through this whole developmental phase. So we wanted to maintain that aspect of what we had, as well as create additional spaces in the public system, which is kind of where we landed. So we protected what we have and the ability to grow in a way to continue the designation and quality of our program.
And I take it when you do the numbers that costs are expected to decrease on average by 50% in the coming year. How will you be determining who's eligible for those reductions?
Well, certainly we have to work through the details, but following a similar formula, I think, to what we've seen elsewhere, that based on family income and the number of children. And we have quite a heavily subsidized program now, to my point of how we've managed it thus far. So, we're working to the same standards of over the next 50% reduction this year in 2022, and then basically getting to the average of $10 a day over the next 5 years.
And what about your province's economy broadly? I mean, do you have any sense of how much this will boost the economy?
Well, I guess we certainly feel that, we certainly need everyone in the workforce. So this is going to help in that scenario. We've known that. We've seen that from other provinces. But we were on that track moving along. I mean, this certainly helps us get there much, much faster than we would have been able to do independently as a province. And the ongoing support, which, there's commitment there that this isn't just a 5-year program. This has to have an ongoing federal support at the levels that are being announced today in order to ensure that we can grow the seats that are required. I think we'll get about 5,700 additional spaces, and that we can maintain the integrity of the system across the entire province.
What do you say to people in your province in terms of how this will change lives?
Oh, I think what it does is take the heavy burden of what the costs are in a time where we've seen escalating costs for not only the daycare services, but in terms of just general living expenses with escalation in groceries, escalation in fuel. Really, we've seen quite a spike here in our province, but that's not unique to New Brunswick. So I think at a time where everyone is facing higher costs of living, and certainly it doesn't hurt to have this come out where we're still in a pandemic and people seeing some good news through it all. So it is encouraging. It was nice to have a federal agreement and get it behind us. And we feel we've got one that we can certainly live with for the future. So all around a good news story.
So you're increasing wages for early childcare educators by what, nearly 25% over 5 years, I think?
Yes, that is correct.
So why should they wait 5 years to get this boost? Why not give it more in an upfront manner?
Well, certainly, we started that back when we first got elected. We started increasing it significantly, and we had done so over each and every year, raising the salary. I think we're up to about $19. We're going to about $24 over a period of time. And we'll see how this unfolds. I mean, there may be a possibility to go faster, but I think the point is that as we develop and continue to develop the learning side of this and make it, it's more than a daycare program. It is actually an early learning program, and the designations that are required in order to participate will continue to be there and maybe enhanced. That will also provide an enhancement opportunity for salary increases, because we do see this as a fundamental start to a child's education. And that's where we wanted to make sure we maintained that in this rollout from the federal government.
And so now some might say, and then there was one, Ontario being now the lone holdout. What do you say to Ontario and at this point?
Well, I think it's important that every province recognize their unique circumstance and that they need to ensure that they not only maintain what they have, but they have a lot of people working in the system that need to be able to feel comfortable with a direction going forward. So, we feel, yes, it took a while, but we feel it was worth it because we have an agreement here that we can live with and the federal government can live with. So you need to take the time to get the agreement right, that you and not just quick to sign on the dotted line, because you got to live with this forever. And it's important that the people of the province, be it here or in Ontario, feel that their needs are indeed being served properly.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.